Hey people, what's going on? Welcome to Real Tough Talk. Tough Talk.
How is that even possible?
Tough Talk.
Whoa!
Stephen J. partner goes,
Show some respect. You did not answer the question.
he's a bad man.
Bad man.
He's a bad. He finally said it.
The slipper's gone. The dress has holes in it. The cart turned into a pumpkin again. So what else you gonna do?
I guess this team couldn't cover a twin mattress with a king size sheet.
Lights out season.
Lights out for you. Let's get as quick into the game as possible because I am not staying in this wig longer than I have to.
I want to party. Play it out, bro. While you talking this guy.
All right, people. All right. What is going on, guys? What is going on? I'm very excited to have y'all here with me and the rest of the team. I'm Stephen J., my partner Ghost, my partner Lou the Shooter, and welcome to Real Tough Talk. We're back. It's time to, get the juices flowing, everything pumped up, ready to go. We're talking about the UFL playing game as the two teams, the Shockers and the Browns, play for the vacant spot left by Don't Sleep, where the winner will get Alex and Shannon services to the team this season. So it's very exciting, and I'm very excited to have my two partners here. We back, baby. We're back.
I want to interject very quickly.
Be my guest.
Ghost, did he just say, all right, to start off?
You got that, right? All right. Nice.
Listen, I gotta say it's kind of bittersweet for me because even though we're welcoming a new team into the league, we're also losing a team of Don't Sleep, who's been in this league on and off for a good while now. A lot of veterans on that team. That that name on that list of the team's breakdown will be missed. That's a team that's always been playing for a long time. They love the league and everything. So that's a team that's definitely going to be missed, but it's good to welcome a new team to fit in that spot and compete just like they did. Maybe even better.
I will say that Ghost is being very kind because the last few seasons, they haven't been very good. But yeah, they will be missed by other teams that were beating their behinds. Respectfully.
Why you got to be the mean one in this situation?
And I'll finish it off with my thoughts. Listen, Don't Sleep has been a team that's been in UFL for a long time. Some of their pluses is they beat a high-ranking blackout team, if you remember that.
Yeah.
They also beat PME, another high ranker. So there was a lower seed that beat higher seeds. But on the other side, they're also a team that passed up on Prince Mo and Henry and drafted Femi. I'm sorry. And they drafted him a little too late. And then they draft the following year. They picked up a Prince Mo who wasn't really playing ball anymore, and they passed up on Lil and these other guys. So they kind of get to the party late, and then they end up drafting Henry, a guy who clearly said he didn't want to be there, flipped him to get Jeremy, who had one of the worst seasons of his career in UFL history. So, that team management style hasn't been great, but they did post a lot of upsets in the team's seasons that expected to have an easy win. So that team is going to be misled by Joel, and I'm definitely going to give them their props for doing what they do. Also, they drafted Alex knowing he didn't want to be the ice also. So, kind of team that wastes his picks. But now, with these two teams, we'll get on the fact that Shockers, led by their quarterback Ramsey, who won the UFL championship, got a lot of new guys on this team, a lot of new faces. A lot of teams said if this team wins, it'd be dangerous. And on the other side, you have Browns, who is a homegrown UFL team. They was in the play-in before. Unfortunately, they lost to GTM. They're trying another shot this time. And, they got guys like Trev, Puka, led by Jingo, former coach of the year. He was on the Street Fams coaching staff, which won the division, #1 seed. So he has a lot of experience, and this is why they try to have an opportunity for him to bring his own brand.
Listen, I will say this. First of all, we already know the outcome of the game.
Right.
So we're not going to speak as if nobody knows the outcome of the game. We know what team won. We know what team is moving forward into the draft spot. The thing with the Browns is they're a team that has veterans and they have new guys. The thing about it is they had issues in the last game that they played with GTM where certain guys didn't show up. There was not as much cohesion as they needed, and they made a lot of mistakes. So the thing about this is, again, we already know the outcome of the game. So they made a lot of mistakes that they didn't need to make in this game. They played better in this game than the last game, but ultimately a few mistakes here and there is what made them come up short in this game. It's unfortunate. I'm glad that they came back to try to play again. There's a lot of players that I couldn't wait to see play again in this game, in this league, but unfortunately, you know how the outcome went.
Well, to be fair to the Browns, last year's team, they had a less of a roster as far as some guys are missing because of a playoff game, I believe it was, in BQFL.
Right.
And also, two of their main players got, if I'm not mistaken, two of their main players got ejected for the cursing rule, or just one. Right.
Yeah.
So, and then you had the quarterback, who's not a defender, having to play defense, and they only lost by what, a touchdown?
I believe so.
So they played well with all them situations happening.
All right, we're gonna jump into the game. Like I said, we know the Shockers will win this game 23-20.
Boo.
We all know what happened, like Go said, but we're gonna break down what happened, which is the actual important part, and how the Browns was able to let this game slip through their fingers. We'll jump right into the game with Ramsey, the starting quarterback of Shockers, getting the ball. He's facing JJ, starting quarterback of the Browns, and we'll get into it more as we break down the game at the end. All right, Ramsey going to get the ball with 3 short passes, getting him to the 45-yard line. 4th down, Ramsey will block it from back. Rolls right, throws it wide open on the corner, who runs for a nice gain and a 1st down. If you look here, JJ is guarding 2, and he ended up leaving the short and leaving the safety. And if you look, the safety is guarding nobody. So the problem with this is, I don't like when people say JJ's not a defender. He made the All-Star team last year being a defender. So the guy could play defender, but the problem is, you know, Lou, you said it yourself, JJ hasn't played in a while. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, throwing the ball, but on defense, he hasn't played in a while. So you figure the rust kicked in, and this is kind of what you saw it here.
Yeah, and on that play, he had one in front of him, and there was a guy behind him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you can't blame him on that one. You know, but sadly, we like to point fingers.
All right, that's going to take us a second goal. Second goal, Ramsey's blitzed by Trev, who's blocked by Bach. Ramsey runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. Shockers get the 2-point conversion. That's going to give them 8-zip. Now, Ghost, this is my problem. They leave the side wide open. First of all, I don't like Trev blitzing. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the size, and Trev is not a guy who's known to stay healthy. So I'm not blitzing one of my best guys who's injury prone, which kind of compromise your team. But not only did they get caught with that, if you know Trev is blitzing from the left-hand side, Ramsey's only choice is to go right. Well, they leave the right wide open. Ramsey knows when the blitz comes in, he can run without the giver having to say 4, and he gets a wide open, run right into the end zone. No one there. Browns gave this one up. And you can see them tapping themselves saying, my fault. They didn't realize that Ramsey can run the ball. So that's going to give him 8-zip. Now, 4th down, after 3 short plays, JJ, with blocking from Zay, rolls right, throws to Trev, cutting inside, who runs for a nice gain and a 1st down. If you look here, the defenders lose Trev as JJ rolls out. Ghost, this is what I'm talking about. I get concerned with Trev playing on the defensive side of the ball because you have to be able to move and be shifty with the guy you're guarding. But when you're on the offensive side of the ball, you know which way you're going. And that's how you can stay more healthy. And this is the thing I'm talking about. Trev is still dangerous offensively. He's able to find a gap. JJ's able to find him, and they're able to pick up a huge 1st down on 4th down.
And you got to understand, Trev is not the same spring chicken that he used to be playing in the UFL years ago on that championship contending Browns team. So, Tom, like you said, Father Time's undefeated. So, on defense, it's not as easy to stay on the healthy side and on the top level side on defense as it is on offense. And I see Trev still being able to kill on offense, as you see here. A lot of the routes that he's able to run and take off in the gaps, he is one of the guys where if you can get to him consistently, he is going to make some big plays for you. And I think that that's what he should be focused on playing on offense, because he's still a dangerous weapon there.
And one thing, That was a heck of a throw by JJ.
Yeah,
to come
definitely.
across the body, that was a throw and a half. The other thing was at the corner left, Trev, to come up to run to JJ.
Because JJ's moving.
JJ was moving, So
Yeah.
that was a great throw and a great catch by Trev.
3rd and goal, JJ with a fake handoff to Trev. JJ comes up forward and finds George in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. They missed the 2-point conversion. But if you look here, Bot gets caught offside, and that's because the fact that JJ comes to the line and stops. Remember, they just seen JJ make a move last time, so the defenders know he can run the ball. Now, he can't run inside this area, but they don't realize that, and he gets Bot to move up, and that's going to be a great play. This is what JJ can do, and they're able to score. They go for the 2-point conversion, and if you look here on this play, the ref labeled him out of bounds. But I think it was a good call because if you look at the feet, he stepped out. The problem is they thought the ref threw the flag,
Right.
the hat late. But
No.
he had to make sure he was out and he threw the hat. I think this is a great call. It looks like his feet steps out.
Now, what happened is, what I'm gonna explain it real quick. You're right. The fact that they thought that the hat was thrown late, but it wasn't that. As the ball is traveling in the air, he just steps out before he catches the ball. So that's why the ref throws the hat right as the ball is going to him. It doesn't matter when it happens. The fact that it happened before the catch shows that he's out of bounds. That is a good call by the ref. Regardless of how it looked, that's a good call because that's exactly when he steps out. That's unfortunate for the Browns.
And as soon as he caught it, he's like this, like just as the ball gets to his head, he got his hand on his hat. So
Yeah.
because you're right. They did think that he threw it late, because all you kept hearing was like, "Yo, you can't throw it late." Nah, he threw it already. But one of the things that is deja vu all over again. What was the defense doing on that drive, on that one touchdown? Looking at the daggone quarterback.
Yep, because of his ability to run.
Three defenders staring lovingly at JJ's eyes.
And let's not forget, George is a very capable receiver.
Yeah.
I know he's kind of quiet, and a lot of guys fall asleep on it. He has to be a sought-after free agent because this guy is a baller. He able to make a play right here. He already knew what he was going to do based on what the way JJ faked that. Wide open, great play. Unfortunately, they missed the 2-point conversion, and right now it's 8-6 Shockers. Ramsey gets the ball back. 1st down on 4 rush. He runs in the gap for a nice gain, get him to the 35-yard line. Ramsey is a very good runner, and the fact that he has lost tremendous weight is going to put more pressure on the defense because he was fast before. He's faster now, and he's not taking the risk he's done before. Ramsey has thrown 1 interception in 2 seasons. 1 in 2 seasons. Not counting last season. I'm talking about the 2 seasons when he was starting. He threw 1 interception in 2 years. So this guy's not taking the risk he wants, and he usually do, and he's going to be even more dangerous. All right, after them getting the 1st down, after a few plays here, you're going to see Ramsey with 2 passes for a decent gain to pick up the 1st. Then on this play, Ramsey on 4 rush, on the run as Ken is able to pick up the rusher. Ramsey's going to run for another gain. 2nd down, Ramsey throws the top near the sideline, getting him to the 25-yard line. Ramsey is building momentum. He just used his legs, and now he's using his arm. This guy is going to be dangerous. 3rd down, Ramsey is blitzed by Trev, who gets by Zay. Ramsey rolls by, throws the Q, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Q beats George as he cuts inside. Will gets the touchdown, an extra point. It's going to be 15-6. If you look here, Trev believes he was held. Take me to that move first. Tell me about the hole, and then Ghost, can you tell me about the touchdown?
Nah, I don't think it was a hold. I don't think it was. He got kind of like, because the guy's on top of him, Ayo, and it wasn't a hold. That was, stop it.
It looked like there was contact, and then
it was contact, and it was
contact and release. So right away,
like they got strangled up.
Yeah, and Trevor's still able to get in and put pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just Q got open off of George on that one cut in, because the way he cuts out and then cuts right back in, right as he cuts inside, George was already beat and the ball was already sailing into Q's hands. Q looks like a receiver that's going to be dangerous if Ramsey's able to connect with him on the regular. He shows right away that he's able to get into the end zone when he gets open on that play. That's another touchdown for the Shockers.
And I'm sorry to say, that was cooked food. He beat him by at least 3 strides.
That wasn't a good matchup.
Nah, it wasn't.
And Q was the guy, I believe, Chuck interviewed Q. And this guy is one of the upcoming comers in the UFL. This guy is dangerous, and I'm not even going to just say the UFL, in the TFL. I like the fact that he's a playmaker. He's able to track down the ball. He has the swagger that also kind of represents what TFL is all about. So definitely this guy's going to be a danger, and we're going to have to see how he does.
You know, it reminds me a little bit of, Jay, of Matt Riddick. The flag, that's what he reminds me of.
And they look similar, which I think would be
height,
some kind of racist, I think. They look alike. But I got what you're saying.
Well,
Definitely
you all look alike except for, but you Puerto Rican and Dominican and Irish, and whatever the heck else.
15-6, Shockers take the lead. On second half, the short run, JJ throws a high in the gap, low, incomplete. This is a big missed throw by JJ. Third down, JJ with blocker from Zay, scrambles, throws up high again on the sideline, out of bounds. The Browns have to punt. This is JJ. He missed two big throws. You cannot be off target on this. And that is two giveaways that they're going to have to punt, Ghost.
And again, they were moving in the first drive. This was a drive where you're trying to keep up with the Shockers who made two of their first drives as touchdowns. So you got to find a way to keep up, and JJ has to be accurate on these throws. Howard was open on both of these plays. Unfortunately, JJ was not able to make some accurate throws to get it to him, and they have to punt on that drive.
And that was a horrible throw, but he did have pressure on him, but it was still a horrible throw.
We've seen him to make these throws under pressure before. Scrambling, he's one of the best scrambling, still completing the throw.
And that was at least 5 yards out of bounds.
Yeah.
All right, Ramsey gets the ball back. Second down, Ramsey throws it tight in the gap. Knocked away by Jihad. Down, Ramsey on 4 rush is sacked by JJ. Shockers have to punt. Now, again, is this an issue that Ramsey's not really taking the risk he thought he usually takes? He holds the ball here and takes a sack by JJ. Like I said, JJ is a capable defender and knows when to come up and make this huge play. But I think, is this the Ramsey we're used to? I mean, like I said, 1 interception in 2 years. But do you kind of want him to take shots? Do you want him to kind of make chances downfield? What do you think, Lou?
You know what? I'm glad that he's not forcing passes downfield. Because remember, before it would get him in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want him to go into them bad habits again. You know what I'm saying? So it was smart. You up 2 points,
15,
whatever. 15, 2 up. Yeah, you up. So why take the risk? You know what I'm saying? Rely on your defense.
All right, Browns get the ball back. First down with 40 seconds left. JJ on 4 rush, rolls right, throws to Ruben on the sideline, getting him to the 40-yard line. If you look here, tying the other defender at the corner, not talking. I don't know what happened here, but I like the fact that Ruben is getting involved. Ruben is a long-time Brown vet. He made an all-star with the Browns years back, and it's great to see him back here. Third down, JJ rolls right on 4 rush. Bop misses the tag, and JJ throws it up to Ruben in the end zone, but it's knocked away by Zayd. Goes. Bop went crazy. He literally said, when I dive, it's a tag. Every time I dive, it's a tag. I think the camera showed something different. Your thoughts, Ghost?
Now, granted, he got one finger on him on one hand.
Oh, one hand that. I didn't know that.
Listen. He was there. He put the pressure. The play was incomplete anyway, so he got the job done. But either way, that was not a sack. You see here, he missed it with one hand. But again, he's putting the pressure on JJ. That's his job, regardless of what. But unfortunately for JJ, that was still an effective pressure on him that led to incomplete pass.
Was that incomplete or good defensive play by the defender? Because it looked like it was going in Ruben's hands and he knocked it out in the last second.
Listen, that was just a whole all-around good defensive play.
Yeah.
On the pressure, the forced rollout, the defender getting there and knocking it out of Ruben's hand, that's just all good defense there.
It's been one-hand touch. Absolutely, great tag. But this is 2 hands.
So if you was giving him a, hey, good game. That's what he got. He got one hand on him. So.
All right. After getting the first down, last play to have JJ with blocking, throws it up. It's going to be tipped here, caught in the end zone by Trav for the touchdown. Shockers get the interception on the extra point, but they get right back into the end zone, going into the half, 15-12. Lou, tell me about this tip and this catch by the veteran.
Hey, yo. Trav. That was reckless there, Jay Brown. You know what? Veterans make veteran moves. You saw where Trev was at the right spot on that great throw by JJ, And, dudes want to go smack the ball. You don't smack it forward, darn it. Smack it back if you can, dummies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard.
Listen,
it's hard. It's hard.
All of that's true, but then you got to give credit to the Browns sticking to the play. They have one of their players. We didn't get his name. I apologize, but he was able to get his hand in and knock it forward. If you look, he's in the middle of that crowd and he jumps in the middle of everybody and is able to knock that ball forward to give Trev the opportunity to catch that.
That's Baez.
Baez. Okay, fine. My thing is, he made a great play there because he jumps in the middle of all those defenders and is able to knock the ball forward to give Trev the opportunity to come down with the ball. That is a well choreographed play that they take advantage off of a Hail Mary. The Shockers should not be giving up plays like that. Yeah, it was. Some will say it's luck, but you do not give up plays like that because all you did was you give Browns life going into the second half.
But hold on. You made it seem like first of all, it looked like he was playing volleyball, like he did it on purpose. No, he was trying to go up there for a one-handed catch. It just happened to hit his hand.
But you still got to give him credit because if he wasn't there, you got to give him credit. If he wasn't there to try to make that play, Trev does not get that ball. So you got to give him some credit.
Stephen J.
Stop hating, man. Give him credit.
Stephen J. You got to look at that play. You tell me if you give him credit for doing a volleyball.
It's just a volleyball smack. He got nothing to lose by smacking the ball. Ghost is just
but you got to give him credit.
My argument is like he did it purposely. I know dudes have done that.
No. What I'm saying is, I give him credit for being there.
Okay.
Because some guys either watch the ball fly over their head or they try their best to go for a hit sometimes or whatever. Listen, they don't make the best decisions on plays like that. He's able to go for it, maybe selfishly, and it worked out for him.
I'm back on your side, Mike. I mean, Ghost. I'm sorry.
All right, that's gonna take us into the half. 15-12. Shockers up. What I'm gonna mention, the fact that this game could have been over. I think this game is over right away if the Browns don't score this.
Oh yeah.
That's a great tip by them, and the Browns get the ball in the second half. Browns was two of three in scores. So even it don't matter how they did it. The fact is that they scored. On the other side, the Shockers was 2 for 3 also. But I think the 3 extra points that the Shockers got is what makes this game different. By them getting the 2 points on the first time, 1 point in the second, the extra points comes down to be huge, and I think that's going to be that ends up being the determining factor at the end of the game. So we're going to jump into the second half. Browns get the ball. Remember, the Browns just scored, and now they get the ball back. But they're going to struggle to move the ball and have the punt going 4 and out. Luke, this has to be devastating. They just scored going into half, and if they can score coming out of half, this is a different game, and unfortunately, they don't, and they have to give the ball up on the punt.
Yeah, that's a big play because you're down, and you scored at the end of the half, and now you get the ball back. You have to take advantage of these situations. And if I'm not mistaken, he scrambled, and he also got a big gain with a throw to Rubin. So it was a waste. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Ramsey's going to get the ball back. Ramsey would block him from, say, rolls right, throws the cue open on his silent for a decent game, getting to the 30-yard line. This guy's going to be dangerous. We're going to be saying his name a lot this season. Third down, Ramsey would block him from Zayd, rolls right, throws the net, cutting in the middle, runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. Shockers get the 2-point conversion, 23-12. If you look here, Trev bites on the pump, leaves the guy wide open. Like I said, Trev is not the defender he is before, and that's because of the 2 ACL injuries, one on each knee. So that's going to slow you down. He bites on the pump, which I think if you know you don't got that quickness no more, you'd rather let him get that if he throws it in front of you. But the fact that he bites is the most devastating thing you could do with a quarterback like Ramsey. He makes him pay here, goes, and that's a touchdown.
But you got to understand, Ramsey is one of the most trickiest quarterbacks to play defense on. He's great on the pump. He can throw across his body. So it's hard to predict exactly what he's going to do and when. So when you try your best to cheat or to follow the quarterback's eyes or, play on the ball or whatever, all the receiver has to do is take advantage of that because it's hard for the defender to be following the quarterback when they are coordinated with the receiver. The receiver and the quarterback know what they're doing. The defender has to keep up. And when you make one mistake, it gives separation to the receiver, and that lets Ramsey make that big play there.
And the crazy thing is you have Trev in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Saltine runs behind him. and he's looking at Ramsey, and Ramsey pumps, and he threw it in a perfect spot. He had two defenders, but they were both trailing on that play. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good throw and a good route.
Third down, JJ with blocking from George, rolls left, throws to Trev, cutting in the middle, who runs for a nice gain. Trev needs to stay on offense. I know they were shorthanded, and you know, Browns would lose this game. If a team can pick up Trev to play offense, the guy is dangerous, and he's showing it here. He's showing that he's still got a lot left in the tank on the offensive side of the ball. I think he needs to stay away from defense. I don't think he got the quickness anymore, but on the offensive side of the ball, Lou, you got to admit this guy's capable of making plays. He had like 15 catches this day.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's less toll on him and doesn't have to worry as much, you know, especially when you're playing both sides of the ball. Like we said, he's been sadly injury prone. You know what I'm saying? And he would be a great pickup.
Fourth down at the 45-yard line. JJ with a short pass to Trev for a first down. The Shockers get flagged for a late hit. Was it a late hit? What y'all guys think real quick?
It was. I don't know if I would have thrown the flag, but it was. I'm saying at the end of the day, it was a late tag. It's a late tag. So there you go.
I mean, you got to understand, the players got to react to the whistle. So sometimes the whistle is going to come either a second or a nanosecond after the tag is made. So the players are going to react. If you listen, because I can slow it down for you.
First down.
I think that they just made the play before the whistle was blown. Even though the hit was made, again, they're not hearing the whistle, they're reacting. So if it happens bang, bang, to me, I don't think that deserved a flag. Again, I could disagree with you, Lou, on that one. But ultimately, that's what happens in the game on a bang, bang play. Sometimes it goes one way, sometimes it goes another. And that's unfortunate for them.
Just to disagree, I think Ray tagged him. And he didn't tag him like, oh, let me tag him because he wasn't tagged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was to, put that little extra mustard in it. But I don't know if you throw it per se. It wasn't like, but still, he did fling him, and Trev was looking for the flag.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, the Browns struggle after getting the first down. The Browns struggle to move the ball, and they're gonna get stopped, turnover on down. This is back-to-back drives. The Browns have get stopped after the Shockers score. That's huge if you're looking at the momentum of the game, and that you guys gotta admit that hurts this offensive attack.
And you know what that is? The rust, because that was two horrible throws in the end zone.
Yeah.
Where he had dudes open. You know what I'm saying? That was bad.
Shockers get the ball back. Second down, Ramsey was blocking by Kent. JJ's going to miss this tag as Ramsey runs into the gap. Like I said, Ramsey is showing the ability to run the ball. JJ misses his tag. Great run by Ramsey. Third down, after getting the first, Ramsey on 4 rush is sacked by Rubin. The Shockers have to punt. I think that they gave this drive away. I think Ramsey was not taking those chances. Right now, they're up 11.
Yeah.
So why would he try to force the issue when you up 11? I think that's what they did. I think they gave away this drive. That was their second stop of the game. But I think both times they just didn't see anything there, and it was unnecessary for them to go for it. And I think that's what the plan coming out was. All right, Browns get the ball back. They're going to get 3 completions to get them the first down. 2 of those was to Trev. Like I said, Trev killed all day catching the football. JJ's then going to find George wide open in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. George also gets the 2-point conversion. 23-20. They're down by 3. George is a weapon. Somebody better sign this guy, because one thing he can find is the end zone, Lou.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But I think the Shockers played horrible defense on that because George didn't run around. He just ran straight up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they thought they were up by more points or what, but they just let him score. But you're right. That would I could see him going to the Raiders.
I think they took their foot off the pedal, Ghost. They wasn't really concerned because they knew at the end of the day they were still up 3 after the 2-point conversion. Even if they, regardless of what they knew, they still was going to be up with the chance of the ball, and there's no onside. So yeah. That's what it is.
And no onside.
Right.
So
all right.
Yeah.
So now, like we said, they took out the kickoff, but because they took out the kickoff, Shockers are going to start at the 10-yard line. But the Browns have all 3 timeouts. Now, had they gone onside, 9 out of 10, Shaka's fair catch, he gets the ball at the 40. Now you got to stop Ramsey 4 times from the 40, rather than stopping him 3 times to 4 times from the 10. Now, Shaka's get the ball, and you're going to see Ramsey take the play, short play here. Then I believe he takes another short play here. Browns are using their timeouts. So I think right now it's under like 15 seconds or something like that. If you look here, G Black, Ramsey, everybody's wondering why Ramsey's going for it. 4th down. Why is Ramsey going for it when if they get stopped, they have the ball right there? Ramsey is looking to run into the end zone for a safety, which will give them the win by 1. But on that, before the hype, remember the Browns already blitzed. G Black goes off sides attempting to blitz. He forgot that the Browns blitzed already. That's gonna call a 10-second runoff. So that's gonna leave like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It's nothing else they can do. The game is called. Shaka's come away with the win, 23-20. What is your thought on the play? What is your thought on the kickoff real quick before we go to the interviews? Lou and Ghost.
You said what we think about the kickoff?
Yeah, the fact that no kickoff was in the game, and it came down to they having to stop them from getting the first down from the 10.
Well, the kickoff in general will hurt some teams. Like I saw Shannon run one back in BQFL. You know what I'm saying? The onside as well, but like you said, you're getting the ball at the 40. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on if you can get the luck of the ball where it lands. But on this particular drive, respectfully, G Black, how the heck didn't you know that you blitzed on first down and you're gonna go blitz again? Did it really matter? Not really. What's the chances of you throwing another Hail Mary? But you never know if you don't make that mistake.
Close.
And listen, this is a different game. If 2 to 3 touchdowns the Browns scored, they would have got at least 1 extra point. This is a different game. Maybe a 2-point conversion, maybe another extra point. They could at least tie the game. So extra points matter in ways that so many teams take for granted. So when you miss those plays early in the game, it leads to outcomes like this when it gets close. Because if they did make at least 2 of those extra points, maybe a 2-point version, now the Shockers are forced to make a play. They can't run the clock. They have to do something because they don't want to make overtime and give the Browns an opportunity to get back on the field and walk away with a win. So again, those extra points comes back to bite you. So any team moving forward doesn't take the opportunity to get those extra points. These are the outcomes that you're going to see every single time. Because they didn't get it, that's why they lost. But this close of a game.
Lou?
No, that's a valid point because even like you said, even if they make one, if they would have made one, Ramsey isn't going to try to go for
for a safety or anything like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people tend to forget extra points matter. You know what I'm saying? And this was a perfect example of that. Because what? Did they miss all of theirs?
No,
yes.
they got the
last one.
They got the last one.
They got the last one. They missed their first 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't even go for 2. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some teams that just go for 2 off the rip.
All right, we'll go to the interviews. We're going to speak to Ramsey and their captain, Ray, and then we'll talk to Trev of the Browns, and we'll be right back.
Stephen J here with the Shockers, who won the play-in game. They beat the Browns 23-18.
Try not to be out of character, almost freestanding.
What did you think about being back? You played last season. You wasn't really throwing. You was here and there. How did it feel to be back in the league this year?
Yeah, I threw 1 game last year. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But I love this league. I've thrown so many touchdown passes here, so few picks.
Right.
But this league is fun. This is where it's at. This is what I love.
Were you shocked how easily your team was able to adjust to certain rules or whatever?
Well, we're still adjusting. They got some things to work on. We almost, very edgy there at the end because of a cursing rule, but we're good. We'll be fine.
Ray, you had to be a little nervous towards the end of the game.
100%.
When you see it's getting closer, what were you thinking when you had a commanding lead and you see them kind of edging back in? What were you thinking?
I think the Browns are a great team, so kudos to them. We're very thankful for the opportunity to play in and play in this league. It is one of the best leagues in the city and the most NFL like. I know you say that all the time. But toward the end of the game, we were letting him come back in, but I think we had a pretty good handle on the clock. Ramsey knew what he had to do, and he executed it perfectly.
Now you add Shannon and Alex to your organization. What are you thinking about adding those two guys?
I mean, those are the best in the business, point blank, period. Alex can do it all, and Shannon is probably the most shifty player in TFL. Assad is there too. But at the end of the day, we're just thankful for the opportunity to be here, and we welcome them with open arms.
You're in the tough Western Conference now, led by the defending champions, PME. What are your thoughts going in, especially playing against that team this season?
They're great. They're an awesome team, but we also have other dogs in that conference. Primetime is there. They've almost become our rival in BQFL. We played them in EHS, so I don't want to discount anybody. PME is excellent. They have great players across the board, right? A couple years ago, we played them in, I think it was a semifinal game in EHS, and they got us on a Hail Mary, so we're thankful for the opportunity to get back. So
last question, big question. Are you looking forward to playing the Monarchs this season?
I knew that was coming. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a fun one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to be kind of marked in the calendar?
Yeah, when we get last week of the season, we're looking for championship game. We got to get there first.
Right.
Yeah, it's a tough league. A lot of great players out there. And since you're such a stats guy, I hear, I don't think I've done a pick in maybe since 2022, 2023.
You have one.
Yeah.
In 2 years. Yeah. That's unheard of.
I'm looking to keep it going.
All right. Look, we're going to thank these guys. They got the lead. They're in here, y'all. They're here. They won the game. Shannon and Alex to this squad. They're dangerous.
Welcome home.
We're going to see what happens.
Welcome home. It's crazy.
Right.
Love it.
Shout out to those guys. Appreciate the talk. I'll give you my thoughts real quick. I think the kickoff, I like the new rule. The league may adjust it a little bit. Ghost came up with a great idea talking about, and Lou, what you think it is? Kickoffs only under 4 minutes in the second half.
We spoke about
that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
We spoke about, but wasn't that the rule anyway before?
No, because the only time you're throwing the ball off would be under 4 minutes in the second half. Every other time, you're starting at the 10. So
right, no, what I'm saying is the old rule when it came to
the ball is only live.
The ball was live on the 4 minutes.
Okay,
but it's still a kickoff.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
So I think in order to prevent injuries and give more possessions, I like Ghost idea.
I like the more possession. That definitely.
It was more possessions. Both teams got the ball 6 times.
And Ramsey mentioned that.
So
that he liked that fact.
Right. So I think under 4 minutes is a possibility. I got to see what the league decides to do. I think week 1, the league is going to stay with no kickoffs and then see where they go from there because they already played the playing game with no kickoffs. So I think they're going to try it and see. Shout out to the league for making the decision there. Now, on this, I think, listen, extra points killed them. But I know G Black went off sides. Ramsey was going to go on the safety anyway. Give the Browns the ball all the way back on the other side of the field at the 10. They would have to throw. JJ can throw the ball. He's not hitting the end zone from the 10-yard line with no timeouts. No way. So that's what it is. Extra points hurt them. Defense kind of hurt them. But I think extra points was the big thing. I think 2 drives that the Browns missed hurt them. When JJ had to punt, when he missed 2 throws on their second possession, their first possession after scoring the touchdown in the second half, when they scored going into the half and they didn't score coming out of the half, going forward, that was huge. And then they get stopped. I think those possessions hurt them. A lot they put on JJ, and yes, he did miss throws, but the Browns' offense did not help him. So I think that's hurt overall. Their offense hurt them by not being able to score extra points and the fact that they gave up a few possessions by not scoring. I think that hurt. On the other side, listen, Shockers are dangerous, but they kind of almost gave this game away. So for everybody that thinks the Shockers are lights out, you don't know what can happen. But now you add Shannon and Alex to the party. So now, first of all, your personal thoughts for the Browns. what do you think as far as the players, real quick, y'all too, and then we'll talk about the new Shocker team, adding Shannon and Alex. Starting with you, Ghost, really quick.
Talking about the teams that played today.
The Browns. What do you think of them overall, based on what they did and what players you think? If you had to pick one player to look for in free agency, you only could pick one. Who would you say? Go.
I mean, that's a hard decision because I'm looking at either Trev or George. You know, those are two really good players that you want to have on your team. You know, we've seen George play more than Trev, so I kind of lean more towards George because I've seen him play the last couple seasons and he's been, you know, consistent, you know, whereas Trev, you know, you see just walking in on the field, he still got it. So, but my thing is, I'm more comfortable watching George because he's less injury prone, as we saw, you know, with Trev, you know, having injuries in the past. And again, he's been playing relatively consistent rather than Trev, not necessarily being on the field regularly. So I think I lean more towards George, but George would be an excellent pick for a lot of teams out there.
Lou?
George is a big body as a receiver. You know who I would or Hod. Hod is a good defender.
Yeah.
Dude sleep on him. And he's a decent offensive player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's quiet. That's why you don't really, you know, hear too much. And, you know, with Trev being injury prone, as long as you keep him off the defense, he wouldn't be a bad pickup.
I agree. I agree with that. Yep.
And look, even JJ, bro.
Yeah.
Keep it a buck. I not to throw, because everybody and their mama got a quarterback so far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's
none against him, like you said, yeah.
You know. And even the kid Baez. Baez is another one. Quiet dude. Defensively, nobody really scored on him. You know what I'm saying? He's played with the Browns a couple of seasons. So, you know, they got some people can make some big pickups with them.
Give me JJ. I'm taking JJ. JJ's made a defense. He was on he made an all-star team last year on defense. He showed the ability to play defense. You know what he did in Street Bowl 2, playing offense. And he gives you an opportunity if you don't have a quarterback 1 week. I'm taking JJ. No disrespect to none of these guys. I'm going after JJ first if it's me. I'll take him. That's a great. Tell me how many backups in the league right now took a team to a championship.
Yeah.
Beating the GOAT, doing it. So, like, listen, at the end of the day, will he start? No. There's no team that needs a quarterback right now. So is he going to start? No. But if you're giving me him as a backup quarterback, playing defense, playing offense, I want JJ. Now, before we wrap it up really quick, y'all thoughts of Shannon and Alex being added to the Shockers party?
I'll say this. Because of the no kickoffs, it hurts. Shannon's a good offensive player. You dump him the ball, you got some blockers. Defensively, I've seen him get cooked in BQFL. He's not the greatest defender, you know, because of the height, more so. But I think just adding Alex, both of them, I think they're gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? If they can get it together, because Alex and Ramsey had success the last time they played together. You know what I'm saying? Could Ramsey take them to a chip? Let's see. Then all that semi GOAT talk can start from Stephen J.
Ghost, your thoughts?
Listen, let's just say this. Shannon, the last couple of draft seasons, has been playing on teams that were up and coming. Teams that didn't necessarily have a dynamic quarterback to get him the ball. You know, teams that didn't always have a solid team in general. So Shannon always had to pick up the slack for a lot of guys that came up short. So to put him on a team that are already laid out where they have all the positions and they say, yo, Shannon, just go out there and do what you do, that makes him more dangerous because there's less responsibility on him. So he could just worry about doing what he does best. So I think that's what makes him more dangerous. And Alex, what else is there to say? He already won a championship with Ramsey. So they already connected multiple seasons before. So to put him again on give Ramsey another tool to help play better and be more effective on the field, that is an even bigger that just puts, the sky's the limit with the things that Ramsey could do with Alex that he hasn't done already. So these are two dynamic pickups that will make the Shockers from a really good contending team to a team that everybody has to worry about.
Okay, these are my thoughts. I hear what you're saying, Lou, about the kickoff. I don't think Shannon ran back a kick in UFL since like 2018. And if he gets the ball, he's running out the 40 anyway, unless he sees a breakaway. As far as the kickoff, not many quarterbacks can get it out of bounds. Alex can, yes, but not many quarterbacks can get it thrown in from the 10. So when everybody talks about unfair, Alex is the only one who possibly can get it out there.
Yeah.
So it's not a detriment to the team, the league, because Alex is the only one really that can get the ball there. Alex, Ramsey, those are the only quarterbacks who really can do it. So let's take that out. At the end of the day, now these offenses, they get more possessions, but now they got to really put pedal to the metal to show that they can get a first down. Because now, when you're at the 30-yard line or even the 40-yard line on last down, you have to take a chance of going for the first. You know what I'm saying? So it makes the game a lot more strategic, and you get to see what these guys really can do. So Shannon, we know what he did in the BQFL, but at the end of the day, you're playing against some of the most elite athletes in the league, and you're not going to be able to run the ball back that easily on these parts. That's another thing. Now, yes, right now, I think the Shockers with Alex, with Shannon are the most dangerous team. Shannon has a chip on his shoulder. He's been picked in the second round. He was with two teams. When he was with Street Fam, no one took him serious. It was a wild card team. And Don't Sleep, no one took him seriously, even though Shannon won the Johnny Rockstar Award winner, Heart Determination last season. Shannon has a chip on his shoulder. And now he's going to want to have an opportunity to play with a team where he don't got to show up every week. His missing don't hurt this team. He just got to make the games he makes and qualifies. Alex and Ramsey, they won a championship. But Alex had a championship before that. So he's a winner. So now you add him back with the quarterback. Now this team is more dangerous. But they're in the Western Conference. Ramsey also has an opportunity to be, I believe, the first UFL quarterback to win a championship on both conferences. Because now he's on the West. He's also battling Chuck, who's trying to do the same thing, who now Chuck is in the East. So that's going to be something that Ramsey could put on his resume if you win. But you're also looking at a team like PME. You got to beat the defending champs to do it. You know what I'm saying? And from what I heard, the defending champs loaded up more this season. And let's not sleep on prime time. Let's not sleep on DG. You know what I'm saying? Those are teams that added to their team. You know what I'm saying? That will be the top favorites in that division. You know what I'm saying? So let's not make it seem like it's going to be a walk in the park for them. You also got GTM, who won the division last year. You know what I'm saying? So let's not sleep on that division. That is a tough division. They East say that the East is tough with Rep City, the stuff that UTF did. Both divisions are tough, but now the Shockers are in the West with some very tough teams. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens going forward, but this is going to be a fun, great season.
Yep.
That's definitely to be said. Now, before we wrap this up really quick, Ghost, Lou, you know the situation going on with Jeremy, with UTF, with them naming pretty much Assad as their starting quarterback. Do we see Jeremy be traded before the season start, during the season, or not at all? Give me your thoughts.
So. I don't think so. Oh, and one last thing about the game. We got to put some respect on Fat E's name from the Shockers with that great 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
On their last drive. That boy hasn't caught.
Unless he tells us to call him Fat E.
I'm calling him Fat E. Listen, I got his phone number, darn it. I can call him Fat E. I was like,
so then that means he's Fat E. So if we got a skinny guy, it's going to be Skinny W. So that's how we determine guys. Just like we had Ghost, just like we had a black Shane and a white Shane.
Yeah. I never got over that one.
That's what we define guys as now. That's what we do.
I never got over them. The funny thing is, both of those guys won championships. So
Jeremy's not being traded.
So you're saying no way we see Jeremy traded?
Nah.
And me, I don't know. My thing is, would Jeremy request a trade? That's a good question because Jeremy is known to want a quarterback. You know, that's what he's there for most of the time. So I don't know if he's going to take the back seat or play receiver or, be second fiddle to anybody else. He's out there to quarterback. So will we see him request a trade, let alone him be traded at all? that's going to be an interesting question to get answered. So, it's just a wait and see game right now.
Okay. My thoughts is I think we see a trade during the season. That's just my thought. I think it's few teams he could go to. I don't think any team he goes to except one, he could be a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I see Jeremy for Jay Will. Jeremy going back to LES. Jay Will going over to UTF. I also see, this is the weird one, it's a long shot. And they got to get the guy to at least commit to qualify. I can see Dave going to UTF and Jeremy becoming the starting quarterback for DG. Now, Jeremy and DG and Hollywood was not the best of friends.
Yeah.
Hollywood needs a championship.
Reem, they got Reem to throw.
I got you. But you're talking about Reem, the Swiss Army knife, who can do everything. And he throws in EHS. Jeremy's not throwing in EHS. So this opportunity I like that one. You put Jeremy in that, but, he's more of a fiery guy. He's more power to a team that's finesse. So I don't know if that'll work.
That is a long shot.
That is a long shot.
Listen.
I got a better chance of hitting Mega, I think, than seeing Jeremy beat, but I think it could happen.
Now, granted, I agree with you. I think it can happen, but it is the most improbable thing to ever happen. Right. Because I think that, unfortunately, there's a little bad blood there when it comes to Jeremy and Hollywood. At the end of the day, we already know they don't get along. It's unfortunate because if they were able to find a way to put that to the side and put championship at the helm of their of their goals, I think they can make something happen. When you have Jeremy being able to quarterback and you have Reem out there, you have Jalen out there, you have all of these other guys out there that's able to make things happen on the field, and Jeremy's able to put himself in a position and put champion as his goal, it can happen, But is it going to happen? I wouldn't bet for it. I wouldn't bet on that side. I don't think I would. So,
and the last one that I see probably won't happen. But we don't know what's going on with Lil. But let's pretend Lil is able to play.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Lil going to UTF because Lil and Kai are cool.
Yeah.
Because of Nightmares.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy going to Primetime. Now, Primetime don't know who they're going to start. Is X going to start? Is Chris going to start? Am I going to start? Is Tiki going to start? We don't know who's going to be their starting quarterback. We heard Jimmy Milo. Now, I also think that DG should go after Jimmy Milo to be their starting quarterback. That's what I would do. I want Reem to be able to play both sides of the ball. That's just my thoughts on that. So if I'm Hollywood, I'm making calls and he can fall right into that because DG is a finesse team that's just looking to play. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
Now, again, do I think the primetime thing's gonna work? No. I think the only deal we'll possibly see that I don't think is gonna happen is Jay will going to UTF and Jeremy going to LES. But Jeremy won't throw. But I think the only guy Jeremy will be comfortable backing up would be Corey. Maybe.
We're
gonna have to see. Those are just some things I threw out there.
And just throwing it out there. Yeah, it is a big maybe because we've seen Jeremy get competitive with even his own quarterback. We've seen that happen.
So do you want to bring that here?
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up. Shout to Shockers. Welcome to the UFL. Congratulations on the win. Welcome Shannon and Alex to the organization. Few weeks away to UFL. We didn't put the game up quicker because we didn't want to. I just wanted to throw that up. We still enjoying our time off. We're going to be doing this for the next few months when the league start. So me and Ghost and Lou are trying to take all the vacation we have because once the season start, we're at work. So that's going to be said. All right. So on the behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J, my partner Ghost, my other partner Lou the Shooter. We will see you guys for the UFL season opener, September 13th. Mark it on your calendars, guys. Make sure you watch Diabolical Talk, Stephen J with Yeez. We got a lot of guests. Make sure you check that out. We took the week off. We'll be back this week. Shout out to all you guys. Like I always tell you, man, put God first. Everything else will work itself out. See y'all soon. We out of here.